When you're listening at level 3, you are also listening to how the language is used. Is the employee using strong expressions like fantastic, enormous, amazing, and unbelievable, or more vague expressions like maybe, a little, lesser, not, and trying? Remember the words and repeat them in your questions. The employee knows what each word means, and the meaning is probably not the same as how you perceive that word. You can challenge the weaker expressions like, when you say that you will be trying, what is the chance of you actually doing it? Rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is not likely and 10 is definitely. When you want to do it a little, how much is that? Observe words like I see, I hear, I sense, and I think. These words are often guiding the coach to know how the focus person perceives and assesses the world around him or her. Persons who often uses I see are most probably visual and respond well to pictures. The sentences they use can, for example, be, it looks blurred to me. The challenge looks heavy. Visual persons can benefit from picturing a situation like, when I see you and your challenge, I picture a marathon runner who runs and runs, but the finishing line doesn't show up. What do you think about that? A metaphor like that can help a visual person to get an overview of what the challenge, opportunity, or dilemma is all about. If you should picture the best possible situation, how would that look like? Help the focus person to visualize by ensuring free space, outdoor coaching, or a window in front of him or her. Persons who often say, I hear, are most often auditive persons who respond well to sounds. Their sentences can often be, I can hear the challenge clearly. That approach sounds good. They perceive situations through the ear. Respond by using hear or listen in your questions, like, I hear that the most important thing to focus on right now is. What I hear you saying is. When I listen to what you're saying about your relationships, I hear. What do you hear that your colleagues are doing? How does that sound? If you listen to the essence of what you just said, what is more important? Help the person to focus by coaching in a room with no disturbing sounds. Persons who often says, I feel, are most often kinesthetics, who uses their senses to perceive situations. They often talk about having a good or a bad feeling about a situation, and often refers to that feeling as being in the stomach. You often see them physically hold on to themselves. Their sentences can often be, I feel that. My stomach is telling me. I sense that. You can benefit from using questions like, how does your decision feel now? How much closer do you feel that you are to a good solution? I sense that you have many mixed feelings at the moment. Is that correct? What do your senses tell you to do now? Help the person to focus by coaching in a pleasant environment and let the focus person have time enough to think with both stomach and brain. Persons who often says, I think and I know, are most probably audio-digital people who respond well to words and logic. Their sentences can often be, my logic tells me, what you're saying is, the first thing I have to do is, and the second thing is. It is clear to me that, the structure is. They need to see structures, details, data, and need to gather their thoughts before moving on. Your questions can be, what do you think you need to assess even more to be able to make your decision? Which parts of the solution you have chosen are you mostly thinking about right now? How do you think your challenge can be grouped for you to be able to know your options more clearly? What do you know already that you want to do? What does the logic tell you now? What is the most logic thing to do first? Make sure to have pen and paper available for the focus person to structure the logic if needed. Draw the logic you find to help the focus person. Audio-digital people often have an inner dialogue about organizing and structuring the insight. These 4 approaches, visual, auditive, kinesthetic, and audio-digital, are known from neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. All people have one or more of the 4 that guides their perceptions. The coach can benefit from being able to respond and act in all 4 dimensions to be even more effective. Proactive or problem-focused language. A proactive language has actions embedded in the sentences like, my next step is to take control at the next meeting by suggesting the agenda immediately when the meeting starts. A problem-focused language has a backdoor embedded in the sentences like, I believe it's hard to take control at the meeting because the others will see me as too pushy, and that will have a negative effect on the results. When the focus person is problem-focused, there is a good reason to ask questions like, who are other people? What does it mean to be pushy? How will it affect the result? Ask what-if questions as well like, what if your colleagues like you to take control? In the proactive language, there's will, like, I want to do it this way. I'm looking forward to. It is important to me that I do. I will do it Monday morning. My next step is to. In the problem-focused language, there's not much will, like, I'm obligated to. I should do it. It is expected of me to. I'm afraid to. I will try to talk to her. It may be the best to. I must attend to that soon. It is only a matter of time before I look into that. I may be wrong, but. The coach can help the focus person to want to act by asking questions like, who says so? What do you say? How come? What do you want to do? What are you not afraid to do? When are you going to act? Use your intuition to be curious about what is not said but lies between the lines, like, your voice became vaguer when you told me that Beatrice views things differently. How come? Proactive or problem-focused language has a tendency to be repeated. Listen to the patterns and see whether the body language is supporting the pattern. Help the focus person to understand whether the language is supporting or standing in the way of movement. Make your observations available to the focus person, like, I hear that you really want this when you say that you are ready to act Monday morning. I hear that you are often using words like maybe, perhaps, and I will think about it. It makes me think that you do not want to act upon your goal. How do you see that?